I'm the last line of defense. You have to be brave enough to stand in the goalpost. You have to be fully motivated to do it.
Football makes me feel amazing. Winning is always sweet. Losing is heartbreaking. But the best feeling is when you do something right and end up winning as a team.
When I was younger, I was always very active. I loved playing outside. But there's one bad thing I remember. Kids teasing me because I look different. I was born without arms. Luckily, most of my friends accepted it without a problem. But some kids found it very weird. The kids who were teasing me, they made me feel uncomfortable and a bit sad. Yeah, but then I couldn't blame them because they didn't understand. They couldn't understand the situation.
Some will say, Kgalalelo, what if I can clap you? What you will do? And I said, hey, I will kick you. You won't even believe it's me who have kicked you. But hey, he learned to overcome that. It didn't bother him a lot. It did, just a bit.
I live in a boarding school in Bloemfontein. So that means I can only go home to my family in Kwakwa once a term. That can be tough. Sometimes I do miss my family. But I love my school. There's so many good things for me here.
Yeah, this is all the goodbyes. Goodbye, son. Enjoy it. Pass it, do pass. Good stuff.
The great thing is, I've learned to adapt. There are so many things I can do just as well as my friends, even without arms. I just find a different way of doing them. It makes me feel good to master things. I've also learned that I shouldn't pay any attention to kids teasing and asking questions. With the teasing, I dealt with that. It wasn't easy, but then I learned to deal with it by just ignoring them, because I knew that the more I listened to them was the more they're going to drag me down, they're going to put me down, so I just learned to ignore them. It's actually a nice challenge to figure out how to do different stuff. I love sport, especially soccer and swimming. I've learned to be pretty good at it. I also like playing chess. It keeps your mind sharp and it helps you to plan ahead. There is one sport I never thought I would be able to play though, but I was wrong. And nowadays, it's my absolute favorite.
I love my dog. Her name is Nova. When I'm relaxing on weekends, I play with her. She's a lot of fun. My sister Maddie usually joins us. Once we are done playing, I catch up with my studies. This year, I'm in grade 5, so it gets a bit busy, but I enjoy it. My favorite subjects are English, life skills, and PT. I live in Monument Park in Pretoria with my mom, my dad, and my younger sister. I love my family very much. But things became very bad for me in 2018. I was 6 years old at the time. I started battling to breathe and I was coughing all the time. I was very, very sick and turned red. So I was in grade R and then I went to the doctor and I remember the doctor telling me, "You're going to be admitted." And I think this was one of my first time being in hospital. And then when I went out of hospital, a few days later, I just went back in. And it lasted for a term or two. And yeah, it was just horrible being sick all the time, not seeing your family as much, not playing sport, not seeing your friends, not going to school. Yeah, it was a really horrible time.
He suffered from a number of viruses and low saturation levels, really sick. And he was hospitalized, I think, about 5 times that year, and eventually had to put him on the CPAP oxygen machine and just get him sorted. It is a result of asthma, which he has. And so that year was particularly bad. It was really tough to see him in hospital and to be that sick because it's not the person or the child that he is. So he was weak, he was lethargic, he couldn't play the sport or play with his friends or go to school. So that was really difficult. So I was just there all the time. I was with him in hospital, slept there for the many, many nights that we were there. And he's resilient. He's a very resilient little boy, and he got through it.
I am now on medication. I take it every day. I feel much better and I'm able to do the things that I love very much. I am even pursuing my passion.
During hockey season, I used to watch the other kids play. Hockey, I never thought that I would be able to play, because to play hockey, you have to be able to hold the stick. There's just no getting around it, and I was fine with not playing. But there's one position where you don't actually need to hold a stick. About a year ago, our hockey coach at school suggested that I try out for goalkeeper in the hockey team. I was a bit skeptical at first, but I didn't want to disappoint her. The first time, honestly, I was scared because the ball is really hard. But then I was really happy. I was excited. I've never felt like that before. Trying something new. It was great. It was really great.
Pick up and lift up your eyes. I need you to hit up your friends and ride. I need you to quit acting lazy and rise. And rise.
Ek dink die feit dat hy van kleins af sy voete as sy hande moes gebruik het, is sy bene en sy voete is baie ver beter ontwikkel as wat die res van ons wat arms het. So die feit dat hy dit gebruik vir skryf en hy gebruik dit vir eet en hy gebruik alles, is hy's flexible. So hy kan baie meer buig en hy's vinniger, so sy reflekse is in. So dit het net dadelik natuurlik gekom vir hom. Ek dink dit help.
Turn me up, turn me up. You ready? Let's try.
To be a good goalkeeper, you have to think on your feet. You have to be able to figure out what the other team is up to. Here, my chess skills really helped me a lot. So, check that. And you have to have very good reflexes, which I have. Check that too. Mostly you have to be brave. You have to be brave enough to stand in the goalpost. And you must believe in yourself and believe in your ability to stop that ball. And you mustn't be scared. Check, check, check. Yeah, it is quite a responsibility because when everyone is playing their part in the field and then the goalkeeper is not really playing their part, it's just dragging the whole team down because the goals are getting in, the balls are getting in, and the opponents are gaining more points. So yeah, the goalkeeper also must play their part.
I'm in control. Let my chair turn around, let it roll.
The other goalkeepers, they do have arms and they can use them. They can use them really well. But then with me, it's just something. It's something different. You know, I mostly have to use my body, and that's not something they quite often do. I don't have to use my arms, but then what I have to do is just I have to be faster. I have to be sharper. They don't use their feet mostly, but then I do. So it doesn't really make me feel weak. It actually makes me feel more stronger. It was soon clear to everyone that I was really good at this. So they made me part of the team, which was really great. It's so good to play in a team. There's no more teasing, just respect. Yeah, respect goes both ways. Yeah, because in order for you to respect me, I have to respect you. So you have to understand each other's situations, you know, the differences, struggles. So yeah. The whole team is happy when I save a goal for them. Honestly, makes me feel a little bit like a hero. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something impossible or something big that I can just tell the world, just shout and just be proud, you know? It makes me feel proud.
Okay, I go through a gate, 5 high knees, and I go through another gate, 5 high knees, and then I go find another player. Are we ready? Let's increase the pace, Let's go.
I realized I was passionate about soccer when I was about 6. My mom and my dad influenced my passion. We were all watching the World Cup together in 2018. That's when I was still in hospital. And then I was like, this sport is cool. What can I do to play it? And then my mom said, you can start playing at school and see how it goes. That's how I ended up playing soccer. So there's 11 players per side. There's many positions: goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forwards. You score in goals. There's offsides. There's fouls. There's yellow and red cards. There's quite a few rules. I play goalkeeper basically because my dad was a goalkeeper. He told me, why not be a goalkeeper? And so I have a little story. It was the first time playing a match. I was under 7 and we were playing under 9s. So coach asked us, who wants to play goalkeeper? And this other boy put his hand up. That game we lost 5-0. And then, because I put my hand up with that guy, coach said, you can go and play goalkeeper. And we drew 1-1. So from that day I realized I love being goalkeeper. My favorite soccer player and idol is Alisson Becker. He's a goalkeeper for Liverpool in England. He's really great. I like how he saves his team. Really amazing player. Boy, man! Dungu!
He's been with us for 5 years now, and he's always wanted to be a goalkeeper, and which is very, very difficult to find in a child of that age, or even from the age of 7, 8 years old. To find a child that wants to play goalkeeper and is determined to just come and play goalkeeper, it really gives him an edge. In South Africa, it's one of the positions that we actually lack the most. So if you're starting from a young age, I mean, now he's getting goalkeeper training 3-4 times a week. So there's the potential is there, the determination is there, the passion is there, the hard work is there. I believe, from a personal point of view, that Jude can possibly be one of the best goalkeepers in South Africa.
Soccer helps me focus and it improves my level of discipline a lot. When I'm on the field, I don't worry about asthma because I get happy and excited. But also, I'm a goalkeeper, so I don't run a lot. My lungs don't get affected.
Yeah, so sport does develop his lungs and help improve his asthma condition, specifically because of the cardio activity that it brings. It increases his lung capacity and actually helps with the asthma. So the more sports he's played and the more regularly he's played, the less frequently he's had the exacerbations.
Hockey has taught me that trying new things, you always have to try new things. In life, you always have to try new things. And it has taught me that the first step is just being brave. You know, being brave to trying new things and not being scared. Because in some point in your life, you're gonna have to try something new. You're gonna have to change the way you do things. And you can always help other people. I can be a shoulder to cry on, and I can lend a helping hand. Because it's not about one's physical attributes, it's about your attitude, about what you have inside you.
I'm very much proud of my son. I'm very much proud of him. He has never let me or anyone down. He has never.
One day, I want to be a lawyer. I figured that's a good way I can help other people when they are in all kinds of trouble. I just want to help those people who are unfairly treated, to be treated fairly because that is our human right. To kids who look different from others, I would just want to tell you that to never underestimate the investment you make in yourself.
I have learned that I need to always have discipline. I need to always be a good sport. Ever since I left the hospital and started playing soccer, my lungs have felt much better. At first it was a bit hard, but things are improving the more I play. So you have to have strong arms, you have to be good with your feet, because modern day goalkeepers use their feet a lot. They are considered as a player, not just a goalkeeper. Obviously you have to have agility, your reaction has to be good, and yeah, that's about it. I have also learned that I need to look after myself and not be too reckless. Although I have asthma, I am continuing to pursue my dream of becoming a professional goalkeeper one day. As a youngster, you should never give up. You need to always work hard and you will achieve your goal.